So I'm meditating and I'm watching myself, and slowly but surely, because I had made this commitment, it was now written in stone, because I did not want to die. The part of me that said, I don't want to die, I want to change the course of my life, it was there. In other words, it didn't disappear. Some people, they say, oh gosh, I want to change, I want to be a better person. Then something comes up, they get angry or whatever, and they fly off and they go off crazy again. And then they go on tears. They go for weeks, months, years, who knows how long the craziness lasts, right? And then slowly but surely, they just start to come back to this, you don't want to live this way. Mine would not leave me alone because I really had etched it in stone. So I meditated 3 years, and I realized something. Something does not want me to meditate. Somebody, somewhere, somehow, something does not want me to sit here and be mindful. It wants me to continue being lost in my head somewhere, in those other thoughts that were coming through, on that other channel that made me have these problems to begin with. And so, I tried to find my own tribe, and those people were all people that were victim people too. And I remember specifically that as I got stronger in my commitment, just letting go of the old bad way of life, that I remember one day sitting on the sofa in my dad's house, and something was saying to me, I wonder what Ross is doing. I bet those guys are out there doing something awesome. I bet they're surfing, I bet they're skateboarding, something. And I saw my mind talking to me. And I said, no. I don't want to follow those suggestions. And then I began to realize I had anxiety. Why did I have anxiety? What was the anxiety about? I thought, here are these thoughts trying to tell me to go out and go back out to be with my tribe out there. And I'm sitting here on the sofa, and something just will not let me go. And that something was anxiety. And you know what that anxiety was? It wasn't my enemy. It was my friend. And I realized it in that moment. I probably was 21, thereabouts. This anxiety was my friend. It was sitting there with me, just wanting me to stay in the present moment. Not give in to those thoughts, not run out and go with them. So that was a turning point also, because anxiety can be about the bad that you've done, and it can also come about as a result of not giving into those bad things. You feel anxious, you feel like you're missing out on something. You feel like you're being controlled by this anxiety. But really, it's a form of conscience. It's a conscience. And the conscience doesn't really try to control you. It just tries to keep you from being controlled. And the part of you that is used to being controlled builds up tension because you're used to giving into it. And it pulls at you. And when you start pulling on something and you pull it and you start to get real determined to pull it, you get this energy that starts coming through you. And that is that part I saw of myself, that it was working on me, pulling on me. It was creating tension in my life and in my mind. And my higher self was saying, just watch it. Just watch it. Don't give into it. There was a war of the worlds going on in this little head on that couch. So I'm meditating now 3 years. So I've committed to this meditation no matter what happens to me. But one thing I do remember was that I was in a dark tunnel when I started. So when I would close my eyes, I wouldn't see the snowflakes of light that I see now. I would just see pure, milky black, inky black darkness. And my dad would always say, well, you're going to see a little light in the middle of your forehead. I said, I don't see that light. But I really didn't care, because I was on this course away from that old self. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where it would lead me. I had no idea. I just knew that I couldn't go back that way. And so over this period of 3 years, I saw one tiny spot of light when I would close my eyes. And that was what I would focus on. So progressively, month after month after month, first it was a tiny, tiny, tiny pinprick. Maybe it took 6 months for me to begin to see that little light. Tiny, 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 like the head of a needle. I said, but there it is. And 6 months later, it was a little bit bigger. 6 months later, it was a little bit bigger. And now I started to be able to sense I was moving toward a light. Because remember, you've got to be going through these momentary, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly trials of temptation. And this mind that's trying to pull and tug at you, and you're still going with it. You're going about your daily life. You're around people that you've known. They try to pull on you and get you to come with them, do the things that they do, react to you. They call you names. They tell you you're weird. They try to punish you for being different. They're doing all these things they don't know. That's why Jesus said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They're not aware that they're just agents inside of a matrix. But you make them aware by being different. They become aware of you in a way that they don't become aware of other people. They watch you and they see something different about you, and they themselves don't know what it is. And you yourself don't even really understand what it is. So you go through the trials and the temptations, and you stay on your course because you're committed to the course. Not committed to an outcome. I wasn't committed to an outcome. I didn't understand that when I was young. I didn't understand, I want this to happen, whatever it is. I want enlightenment, or I want to be free from problems. I didn't even care what it was. I just didn't want to be that old person. So 3 years in, and one time, distinctly remember coming out of that tunnel into what felt like snow coming down at nighttime. And you know, if you've ever seen snow with the street lamp and you see the snowflakes, it just started snowing. And that was light. There were light flakes, is what I call them. And then the realization dawned on me. Now I can begin living my new life. That was what I realized. That's it. Because I came out of that tunnel, that thought tunnel, that inky black darkness. Because in there was dreams, there was darkness, there was evil in that dark place. I knew it. It came for me on many occasions. And even after, when I was in my later 20s, it came for me in dreams. Tried to get me, tried to make me fear. And it still was there. It doesn't go away.